What would 12 years old you think of how you are now? I was an idiot at 12, so he'd think I was cool. Now me is an idiot too, but I only think I'm kinda cool. Jealous of the allowance my boss gives me. Little does he know, it's actually pitiful. I'm more fit now, so he'd probably be like, damn bro, nice biceps. He would be disappointed because I'm not a professional football player or a rap artist. That little delusional brat. Wow, your life is boring. You're going to drink that much at 11 AM. Disappointed at best. He would honestly think I am like the coolest guy ever and be pumped about the future. But fat ears, just because he had really bad taste. Why are you still a virgin? Even I lost my virginity. She'll get depression earlier. Erasure. I become successful, but my hairline is going to recede and start becoming bald. Starts violently sobbing. Disappointed because my life is nothing like she wanted. 16-year-old me would be proud of me dealing with my issues though, and I think that matters more. She wouldn't waste her time thinking about older people. Anyone over 30 was not interesting. You turned out exactly how I expected, but somehow, I'm still disappointed. Hey. You have Star Wars. It's right here on the shelf. Hey, why is it on the shelf? Why aren't you watching Star Wars? You have Star Wars. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Can we watch Star Wars now? She'd be appalled at who I married. My husband and I went to grade school together. We did not get along at all. Probably disappointed I did not go to her school of choice or finish college. I am not a famous artist. I don't work for Marvel Comics. And I don't have any kids. Probably nothing. That would require me taking my mind off of my hot math teacher Miss Harper. And that rarely happened with 12-year-old me. 12-year-old me had no friends. Was bullied. And hated everything in his life. He had fears of getting fat. Dying alone. And spending his days hidden from the world. He would cry at how well we've wound up. Married. Working as an engineer. With a home, a baby on the way, shitloads of close friends whom I love and would do anything for, and the kids who used to bully me wound up exactly where they belonged. I'd be very impressed. I was overweight, depressed, basically friendless, and did not know at the time. But being an adult now, it is very clear, some kind of attention disorder. Had horrible grades, because I just did not care. Parents did not, so why should I? Was not into sports at the time either. I am now in a successful position in a very successful company, with a great social life and an awesome little family. I just bought a house I had never in my wildest dreams thought I'd be able to afford. I am still about 20 pounds overweight, but my husband likes my curvy button chest, so I call that a win I suppose. Don't get me wrong. There have been plenty of ups and downs, but overall, I am doing alright for myself, which is something I had never thought would be the case at 12. Probably upset that I'm not a vet and don't own a skull at McCaw. It's okay, little me. I found a much better aspiration and I have a cool ferret instead. The me of today is what the 12-year-old version fantasized about becoming, a performing musician and instructor/professor. Can only speculate. But I think the 12-year-old me would be surprised and pleased that it actually happened after years of study and hard work. Terribly disappointed and saddened. Even if things aren't bad necessarily, it will be disappointing for a good number of people BC of the killing of most childhood dreams. He'd be stoked that I still play D&D and probably faint in joy at the sight of my RPG bookshelf. My 12-year-old self would be proud. A little confused/surprised with where I ended up. It is different from what my 12-year-old self saw. But I have a herky no good life, so I think Theo'd be proud of all the work I have done and who I have become. Well, so I'm gay? Question mark? Question mark? 50-50, I suppose. Surprised I'm alive and sane, but sad I'm not a rich badass. Shocked that I was actually diagnosed with a mental illness. Sad because mom has passed. Happy that I have my own PC. Freaked because I hated long hair, which is what I have now. I hope she'd be proud. I've gone a lot I never thought I ever could. Fuck, I'm gay? Oh, the softball makes sense now. Ugh. Gross, I'm fat in the future and almost bald, just kill me already. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. My wife's boobs are huge. He'd be happy. Honestly, he'd think I'm awesome. I came out much more attractive than I ever thought. For starters, I get to make pictures for a living, and the minor success I've had with my band and writing music all while being in a long-term relationship. Only downside is still living with my parents, a shitload of student loan debt, sometimes crippling anxiety, and a minor drinking problem. She would be proud. She stood up to her abusive mother and got the help she as always needed. Edit. Holy shit. My first silver. Thank you, kind stranger. He would probably say something along the lines of, "Oh Arrogant, I hope I am not like that guy when I grow up." He'd ask why I'm still alive. I really expected nothing, and still I am disappointed. He would think I was a loser because I put down the skateboard and started actually trying to be a part of society. Shit, he would call me a fucking loser. He would think that getting divorced meant that I had failed as a person, and he would be very wrong. She would think I am hot. Ashamed. 12-year me would call 19-year me a pedophile. Too bad his dad's going to die in a month, and puberty is going to hit him like a freight train in a week. Sad. I'm in a wheelchair. Gay. I think 12-year-old me would be proud of the person I've become, but horrified at my major. For an explanation, I'm a chemical engineering major.